Hello and welcome to PMCLounge.com. Today in this video, we are looking into the 6 processes of the scope management knowledge area. Now, we have already covered the basics of scope management knowledge area in a separate video, and I'll share a link to that in the description. And the first link in the description is going to take you to a related article. So if you would rather read an article than watch a video on scope management knowledge area, first link in the description is your way to go. Second link will take you to the scope management knowledge area basics that we have already covered, but we did not cover the these 6 processes right at a high level. So that is what we are going to do in this video. By the way, everything that you need to know about scope management knowledge area is already covered, and the entire playlist will be the third link in the description. All right, let's move on. So this is the PGK mapping from PMBOK edition 6, and this is where scope management is. So you've got 6 processes here. There's no process in initiating, executing, and closing process group as far as scope management knowledge area is concerned, but you have processes in planning and monitoring and controlling. So let's zoom in on this a bit. So this is the zoomed in version of the PGKA mapping. As you can see, we have 4 processes in the planning process group. You've got plan, scope management, collect requirements, define scope, create WBS. And in the MNC process group, you've got validate scope and control scope. So total of 6 processes make up the scope management knowledge area. Let's look into each one of these at a high level. So plan scope management is basically the process of creating a scope management plan. This is a subsidiary plan that makes up the project management plan as a whole. So there are several subsidiary plans that make up the project management plan. One of those plans is the scope management plan. This is what you create in the plan scope management process. So this plan documents how the project scope will be defined, validated, and controlled. So this document, the scope management plan, is not the scope of the project, right? That's a confusion certain people have. So this scope management plan document is not the scope of the project. It basically defines, it is a plan that defines how, this is the important word here, how the project scope will be defined, validated, and controlled. So that's plan scope management process for you. The next one is collect requirements. So in this process, you basically determine, document, and manage the stakeholders' requirements to meet the project objectives. So you're basically doing what the name of the process is. You're collecting requirements, right? And you are determining, you're documenting, and you're managing the stakeholders' requirements to meet the objective, the end objective of the project. A quick reminder before we move ahead, if you're looking for PMP preparation book resources, pmclounge.com/resources is the link we have created for you. Check that out. So the next process is the define scope process. And this is where you do what a lot of people think you do in the plan scope management process, right? So this is where you come up with the detailed description of the project scope. Now, sometimes you may also define the product scope in detail in this process itself, but mostly, almost all the times, you are only working on a project scope. So this is where you get the scope of your project, what all that you need to accomplish to meet the project objectives. The next process is create WBS, and it's pretty simple as the name goes. This is where a WBS is created. By the way, if you're wondering what a WBS is, the entire playlist will be in the description for sure. Now, just a quick overview of what WBS is. This is where the project deliverables are subdivided into smaller and manageable components. This is the very basic definition of what WBS does. So as part of WBS, you basically subdivide or disintegrate the deliverables of the project into smaller and more manageable components. The next process is validate scope, and this is the process of formalizing acceptance of the completed project deliverables. So every project deliverable which is complete, this is where you receive a formal acceptance on that deliverable. So that is what you do in validate scope. And the last process in scope management knowledge area is control scope. And this is the process of monitoring the status of the project scope. So this is where you're measuring against the plan, right? And sometimes even the product scope, and also managing changes to the scope baseline. So two things that you're doing here. One is you're monitoring the status of your project, and second is you're managing changes to the scope of your project. So those are the two key items that you take care of in the control scope process. That is all that we had in this quick video. Do hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you stay notified whenever we upload a new video. Check us out on our social media, facebook.com/pmclounge and twitter.com/pmclounge. And don't forget to check out the website pmclounge.com, your number one free PMP resource. Thank you.